Welcome back to another tutorial. This is part 2 of the THEROPOD to Giganotosaurus tutorial series that I'm doing, where in the first one, I recommend that you watch that before this, but in the first one we built this little template, a very universal template to just build THEROPOD, It goes at decent speed, has some good animation turns as well, and very fluid. But in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing how to up the scales a bit, to go from what could be a medium theropod, this could be an Allosaurus or something. I think size-wise it would be good as, but I'm going to show you how to get it up to scale to the Giganotosaurus that I've been building. So once you're done, or once we're done, your dinosaur should be able to open his mouth, look up and look down, and then, have some extra mobility. It stays about the same speed-wise, which is really nice, considering that we've added a lot more weight. But yeah, so without further ado, yeah, alright. Without further ado, let's just get into it.
Alright, so if we grab the template from before, the first thing I'm going to do is elongate the legs themselves. This will be both on the thighs and then the ankles or whatever. I'll then turn the attention towards the knee joints themselves, where I'll lower the angle so they don't bend as much while it's standing. Doing the same to the hip joint and the backwards knees will improve our overall height. And since we're only limiting the angles by a maximum of 10%, the walk cycle shouldn't be affected all that much. As you could see, I also moved the entire legs down by 1 block, which once again will make it stand taller. And as we can see, the walk cycle hasn't taken that much of a change. Removing steering help is crucial, since we want all the hinges to be moving at the same speed, regardless of the speed of the actual walker. Now I'm starting to make the tail appear bigger. Right now I'm just moving some logic around to fit, and then just moving in bigger pieces, which will, both improve our size and also keep complexity down. Now I'm just going to expand the belly down here below the legs. Probably not, I don't think belly is the right term, but that area, which is what a lot of people forget to do. Personally, I was experiencing some issues with it tipping over, which kind of ruins the running animation a bit. So I just increased the side gyros, and then I'm going to bulk out the back a bit. Now you get to watch me scramble through all my builds to find my old Indominus Rex. I'm pulling this out because I want to get the Giganotosaurus to be sort of around the same size, since that is what they are. Here I'm lowering the strength on the suspension, which is, not really something you need to do. It is just what you prefer. Now I'm just going to move around with some logic. This is not important for you to do at all. I just like to have it be somewhat of a system. No structure in the system at all. But I'm going to expand the front, the torso, I guess you would call it, to sort of build that up. The hinge I'm placing here is going to be for the neck to move up and down. So I'm just going to remove controls and hook it up to a sensor, and then just get the frame of the neck. I will soon move the hinge itself, because I do want another movable horizontal hinge, just to get a bit more maneuverability into the neck itself. And here is said renovation, so to speak. Just copying the hinge from the joint prior to this over, so that we now get a bit more swing in our torso. And once again, I'm just trying to line them up so I can get a good look at how big we are and how much more we need to increase our size. I felt as though the tail needed one more joint, so very easy to just use a power coupling instead of, for example, 2 hinges on low strength, since the power couplers are omnidirectional and also just 5 complexity, so you save 5 complexity by using a power coupler instead. Now working towards the head, I'm just going to place the servo that is going to be the other half of the neck movement. I'll get the needed connections for the servo on there. A bit tricky, since the head is going to be a bit asymmetrical just due to how the servo is built up. But I'll place the 1x3 down there, which is going to be the base of our head. After a quick size comparison of the two, I'll add the controls for the neck to be able to move downwards. This will give us a lot more of an easy time hitting smaller mechs or just anything else in general that is closer to the ground. However, with only the output on the hinge itself, the negative output gets cancelled out by the positive output by the sensor. So I'm just adding a quick AND gate to get a downward swooping neck. After a quick save, I'll add the servos, which will be the jaw muscles. Again, due to their asymmetrical nature, it is a bit difficult to get a symmetrical head and a width of 1. Now, please remember that this is just a bigger template, so the head I'm about to show you how to make is not a viable complete head, just a idea on how to do an actual head. The actual Giganotosaurus head I'll be showing how to make in part 3, so stay tuned for that, but this will do for now. The logic for the head is not something I'm super good at explaining, but it should be fairly simple to follow what I'm doing here, so just pay attention to what I'm doing. Now I'm just going to add controls to the servo here so that we can look up as well. I then started testing the mouth and biting capabilities, and I experienced a phenomenon that I had previously not encountered while building dinosaurs. It appeared that each time I would bite down on something, either the lower jaw or top jaw would wedge itself into the build and sort of be stuck there. At first I wasn't too pleased with this effect, since it didn't really do anything besides being stuck, so it would kind of like anchor pins, for example. But as we add more blocks to the lower and top jaw, the opposing build will start to take almost tick damage, as I explained in a recent short of mine. For some reason the jaw decided to not consistently close for me, and I still don't know what was the issue here. Since I moved the servo up and it appeared to
be fine, but I've later moved it down, so I don't know if anybody else is gonna experience this issue, but that is a solution. Then I'm going to add some mirror pieces on the lower jaw, since they offer a great visual, since they're not a full block, so the jaw will be a fitting width. And once again, due to the fact that the circles, the mirror pieces can't be symmetrical on each side, so here I'm using the speed one by ones, so they are not attached to that side. And as I mentioned before, now that we've added more blocks, the biting now does some damage. Still not fatal to either of us, which is still good, but not fatal to the other. But after increasing the speed, the biting does go down more into the build, which will later help dealing damage once we get more of the tick damage effect. I decided to see if changing the infrastructure of the skull did anything, but I didn't really see any change. However, when I switched the test object over to my Suchomimus, the change was pretty dramatic. Well, yeah, I hope you guys found that useful. The build still hasn't been turned into too much of a Giganotosaurus yet, so you can still use it for other stuff, but thanks for watching.